Team Borexus' new website. Wow, look at this website. It's really cool.
Wait a minute. Did you ever think about how it was set up? Like how those words appeared next to that picture?
It's called HTML coding. It's the internet language that speaks to the browser.
I'd like to know more about this.
And that's what we're here to teach you about. Hi, we are Team Borexus, team number 9852, and I'm Luke. This is Esperanza.
This is Kiara.
This is Jacob.
This is Jackson.
This is Zach. This is Joseph.
And that is Sam.
And that's Sarah.
Our world-class question is, how can we make kids more interested in HTML and coding? We think that if we spark interest in kids of HTML and coding, then they're more likely to go on and learn it later in their lives. But first we need to give credits to people who helped us with our idea. First off, there is
Dr. Lefkow. Dr. Lefkow is a teacher at Bob Jones University. He's a wonderful teacher and with a PhD in engineering. He is also a chairman of the physics and engineering department at Bob Jones University. Next is Kiara, our second professional.
We've met with an electrical engineer that studied at Bob Jones University and earned his degree in engineering. He worked at McAllister for 3 years. Also, Mr. Stephen Johnson, an international business development manager at corporate headquarters of UPS in Atlanta, came to talk about HTML basics and how they're used in the business world. For instance, what is there for marketing, education, and banking?
We went to an HTML basics seminar at the Iron Yard in Spartanburg. We shared our project puzzle idea with a girl named Catherine Wakefield, a computer coding instructor.
Our team looked into several books and looked at some websites, but most of the books that we read were too difficult to understand because they were written for adults, and we didn't find a website though. It was like from age range of 9 to 13.
We have looked at a website called Code Academy that helps kids learn HTML. Code Academy is a website that offers free lessons on HTML and CSS. It gives you a short lesson and then hands-on experience.
Our team solution has been to make a jigsaw puzzle so that the coding matches up with the picture on the box. The jigsaw puzzle helps because it's hands-on and it's easier for little kids would rather do it because they're attention span. And some families and parents don't want their kids on the computer, on the internet, so it'll help kids get started in HTML, so we'll future website designers. We should agree with 4th graders in River Geometry and Mrs. Pritchett's class.
We believe this is very creative because it can spark kids' interest in HTML.
Here, try out this puzzle.
Oh, thanks.
This is the puzzle that we created. You can explain to you about the tags and then we're going to explain to you the electrical part of it.
So as you put down the tags, so there's italic, and you would put down the italics tag first, and then the second one, and it should light up.
Don't
The only
forget,
reason
it's a
that doesn't-
prototype. So
Yeah, it's a prototype. The only reason it doesn't is because these aren't like the most secure things. Sometimes they go around a little
So
bit.
the idea, as you just saw, it lights up like that, and if you can see, it makes the text above it italic, that you can't see before, and you go along with all the other. And this one is a bit more confusing, but we thought that this would be helpful to show that you can make text colors.
In the future, it'll be more secure.
Yeah, so that, and then at the end, as all these do that, everything lights up, so at the end, if you have everything, the whole word box lit up. And then we can explain to you the back of it, of how it actually works.
At the moment, it
electrical
costs
side of it.
about $80 to make, but if we decide that we want to mass produce it, we can get the parts for cheaper, and then it will be probably about $20 to make each.
This super dope, actually. Like, we got an electrical engineer to go to wiring and stuff.
Because we couldn't do it because it was like a soldering iron and we didn't want to die. So,
And then we actually got Jacob's dad to build it because he's a carpenter and he was willing to do it for free. So we just got him rebooted.
So the electricity, you can plug it in and the electricity comes through here. And these things complete the circuits because there's like a little loop through there. So if both of these things are touching, the circuit is completed and the light bulbs light up.
And this is like, it makes sure the electricity doesn't come through at like so fast, and we have one on all the lights, because I forget how much it goes in through, but it slows it down so that it's not going in so fast that it will burn the light bulbs out.
It
So
looks like
slows
it
down.
has to be 20 volts or something, but if it goes up higher than that, then it can burn out the system.
And then these are the things, this would go along with the puzzle, and it just gives like information, like where you can get more information about it. That's on our website. We created a website so we can tell people more about it. And then it's like for high school students, for elementary students. That just says what it stands for, hypertext markup language. And yeah.
It's like, it explains what HTML is and like that it has tags and everything. It explains where HTML is used, like from government banking, or from government to banking to retail to gaming. And then we've got a section on where HTML is used, and we got a few websites, like Code Academy is the actual website that teaches HTML. Khan Academy is used in schools for math and I think science too. Banking, of course you use HTML in banking for your mobile web or your mobile apps and the websites. And then for government, the government uses HTML everywhere, and Pentagon websites to just random websites like giving tigers baths. Then HTML is also used in gaming. If you go to websites like Cool Math Games, it's used in retail, where you can pretty much search anything and it'll come up with an ad. And then it's pretty much used in all websites. There is one hack, but it's not proper at all, that you can just use CSS in it, and I think it's just putting pictures on a website.
There's also different versions of HTML. Right now, what's most commonly used is HTML5 because they've simplified it a lot and made a bunch of changes to make it more efficient to use. So that would be what we were teaching. It would be HTML5.
And there are many more coding languages, like there's something called Swift that's for Apple, and then HTML is like Windows and all of that.
So this thing doesn't become outdated because the lady we went to the seminar with, Catherine Wakefield, she said that they're constantly changing HTML like tags and everything. So I was talking to her about this after the seminar, and she said maybe like we could like create updates and whatever for the different tags and stuff like that. So that way it won't become outdated.
But these are very, very basic tags. Like we didn't want to overwhelm them with like a really complicated one. So this is just like header one. This makes it bold. You know, this is like italics.
So how did you decide for your prototype which tags you were going to use?
Well, they were the ones that we had.
Yeah,
The very basic ones. And the electrical engineer, we had him come in before we actually decided to do it. And he basically, these were the ones that he used in his example. So that was like relatively new from the beginning.
These are some of the shortest ones too. We wanted to make them big enough for kids to be able to read, but we didn't want to make them super long, or we didn't want to make them super boring, and then we didn't want to make them super long.
That's also why we chose to put the robot on here, was because if you just had like a blank thing, or even if you made it like a legit jigsaw puzzle, which is just squiggly lines, like if you didn't put a picture, that'd be super boring. So that's why we chose a robot. We chose a robot because it is FLL and we love robots. And yeah.
Any questions?
What are the costs?
We aren't really focused on selling it at the moment, but if we sell it, we'll probably sell it for the same price that we made it for.
And it probably wouldn't be this big. Like, it would probably be smaller. And another thing, we went to the school, the 4th grade class, and when we talked to the teacher, she said that it would be a good idea to just get like one for each classroom, and that way like all the kids would be using just one, and then they could also use it as a part of like their doing?
Like we said, if we decide to mass produce it, the LEDs that we bought
The lights.
from a local store were very expensive. They were about 80 cents a piece. Whereas if we mass produce it and buy a large amount from a company, each one will only be 10 cents.
So the LEDs were what made it so expensive? Just because we had to get them, because this is our prototype and we had to have something, so.
Have you shared this with our research, tried it with someone?
Yeah, we hold the meetings at our house, and my little siblings are always running around during the meetings, and they come up and they'll play with it, and they'll be like, oh look, that makes this light up, and that means that does, and like they kind of just figure it out on their own without me telling them anything about it.
And like we said, we brought it to a 4th grade class and let them try it, and it turned out a success.
Also on our website, we give information about HTML and stuff like that.
And we did a survey when we went to the class, we passed it out, and the first question was like, do you know what HTML is? None of them knew what HTML was, and we were like, have you ever used computers? They'd all use computers. Do you know how a website's made? None of them knew how a website was made. Some of them kind of wondered how it was made, that was another question. And then at the very end, we put, would you like to know how HTML works? And they all said yes, so we were like, well, something, yeah. Oh, we have one, there's this one little kid, it's a little,
So after you showed this to the 4th graders, you said, or to your siblings, were any of the skills transferable? Like, were they able to, they consistently knew how to make it italics? Were they able to do it on a program or do
Like
it
on
on
the
a
actual
computer?
computer?
Yeah, and make it even a
Well,
world in
yeah.
italics? Or?
They didn't have the opportunity to. Most of us have done it on the computer where we've just been like, ooh, put the little tag thing here, and then put a little text in the middle, and then put the ending tag. And so we've all pretty much made like our own things on the computer that we've done. Like I did cookies, that was all I put, and then I made it in italics and bold and stuff. The other, like my siblings didn't have the opportunity to, but I think they would like to. Like we all thought it was really fun making something on the computer.
When we were coming up with the design, we kind of had different ideas, but then we were able to come out with this one idea, and everybody has worked together to make it, and we're really proud of it, because our goal at the beginning of the year wasn't even to get this puzzle made, it was just to actually have a puzzle blueprint and everything, so I'm really proud of this.
Because if we were just planning on having a blueprint, but to actually have the prototype and everything, like the lights working and stuff like that, that's pretty cool. We went pretty far past our goals.
So how did you build the team Borexus?
The website?
Yep.
He's the one that knows the most about it. He used a bunch of
I
stuff.
designed it using Photoshop, the picture. Like,
So you didn't use HTML?
well, we sent it to this. I know like the basics because our coach taught us a little bit of it, and I've been in a few classes. And we sent it to this Indian guy, and he did the website for us.
Yeah, but we're not that experienced in it to like make a whole website out of it. But I want to be. I think we all do. Like, it's really cool. Last year, the reason why we came up with the whole idea anyways was because last year our research project had something to do with this, and we weren't able to make it on our own. We had to give it to somebody else to make because we didn't know how to do it. So that was kind of how it started. The whole thing this year was because we were like, we'd like to learn how to do it. So.
So are there any other solutions?
The solution,
I know there are code academies and everything, but that's more for adults, as we said. But are there
There's-
anything else for the kids?
not really that much.
We
Other
looked
things
online
that, most of the other stuff is digital. We have one of the only substance teaching, or HTML physical.
like
teaching.
hands-on, like you can touch it, not like on an iPad.
Yeah, that was my question was, can we not use an online protocol or online game?
Yeah, in the beginning, we were thinking more towards that direction, but once we talked about the classrooms and the teachers, they were thinking like, it would be better to have this just because it's more readily available than most like because like we said, some people, they don't have iPads, even though it's becoming a lot more popular now, but if you could just get these and send them to the classrooms, that would be a really good way to like have a lot of people learn it from just one program.
And like we said, most parents, like, I have a kid in my class, and our District 7 provides MacBooks to middle schoolers and high schoolers. And one kid in my class isn't allowed to take the MacBook home and then a bunch of people don't have the internet. So if they don't let their kids get on the internet or they don't have internet, this is another solution. If they have internet, this could probably encourage the parents to let them get more involved with it.
And we thought about doing both in the beginning. Like we thought about doing something on the computer and something like, to do it this way. And we're still actually, like we've still been talking about doing an app too. That was what we were going to do last year, is creating an app, and we didn't know how to do it. That's what started the whole thing. So this year, I mean, we could go and do more like an app idea, because there are a lot of people that have Apple products and stuff like that. We just chose to do this one first, and we could go on and do it like technological devices.
And Apple also, if we decide to make an app for it, we want to sell this first because they charge a like $50 developer fee, and then if your app gets popular enough, it starts costing you if enough people buy it, because it's using up their bandwidth.
Yeah.
Triangle. That's free.
They, there's a new movement, it's not really new, but it's gaining a lot of momentum. It's called the Hour of Code, and it was last week in a lot of libraries, public libraries, and a lot of school libraries. So if you were to advance, kind of look that up and look into that, because that might, I know you guys spoke with the computer person and at your at the convention or the seminar, and that was a really good outreach. But it's just another audience, another venue you can go through to reach more people who can check out some ideas. You guys feel more about it.
How did the team organize together?
We had-
originally,
Yeah.
we split our team into fundraising, public relations, projects, and
And everybody worked on robot and core values.
everybody worked on core values and robot. We split the robot team into mechanical and programming, but the project team started just like meeting during our free time, and we've been and for about the first 3 weeks we were probably stuck on trying to figure out what we were going to do.
They weren't getting like anywhere.
Then we came up with the idea, and we kind of started developing it more.
But what really started like the actual process to go ahead, we had this big meeting with the whole team members, because they were kind of like stuck like in a rut, like they didn't have any new ideas. So then we like all brainwashed as a team, and we were like, because we had so many different ideas that we had, and so then once we got the whole team together, like everybody, we all just sat down with a dry erase board and we started like drawing things up on the thing, and we decided on this. And so really what's actually kicked it, like made it start going, was the fact that we all started putting our ideas into it, not just the project, because that was a lot of stress on them. Are we out of time? I feel like we've been in here for a while.
Well, thank you guys for
Good luck.
Good luck.